I'm going to teach you something new about how to improve your performance once you start working. Now, this lesson doesn't just apply to call center work. This lesson also applies to any job. And the best way to start is by owning a notebook. A notebook and a pen is one of the most valuable investments that you can make once you start working. Now, why is that? When you start working, you're going to meet the boss, and the boss is going to give you some instructions. If you remember the instructions, you get to do the job well. Now, if you forget the instructions, you're going to do the job poorly. If you forget, you're not going to do things as well. If you want to do well, you want to remember everything that the boss says. And the best way for you to do that is by writing things down. Write down the instructions, write down everything you learn. That's why the title of this video is Document Your Progress. Because when you document your progress, it's easy to come back to what you need to remember. This is the first question that you want to answer. What are you doing well? What are you doing well? Think about that. When you start working and you learn how to do a few things, if you receive any compliments from your boss, write it down so you remember. If you remember everything that you do well, you're going to keep doing those activities well. The next part is, what are you doing poorly? Write it down. What are your weaknesses? What are the things that you don't do as well? And then don't stop there. Don't just say, oh, my weakness is I'm late, or my weakness is I'm not very good at speaking English. Always ask yourself this question: how will you do better next time? Because if you don't ask yourself this question, then you're going to have a problem later on. Ask yourself, what did I do well? What did I do poorly? And how will I do better next time? What are you doing poorly? What are you doing well? Document your progress. Take notes. Your notes are the most valuable investment that you can make in your career. When you start taking notes, you're going to start getting smarter. And, just so you know, I'm already 35 and I'm turning 36 soon. And I know people who are the same age as me. They started the same age as me, and some of them finished college and I didn't. And a lot of them are still in entry-level positions. And why is that? Sounds like when I talk to them, it sounds like they don't care about their career. It sounds like they don't care about their learning. And, Kevin, you sound really harsh. You sound really judgmental. You sound really mata pobre or whatever. I recently got hired for a job, and my client offered me $860 just so I can take care of some of their accounts. So I just log in, check the email, I read the instructions, and then I send some instructions to someone who does the job. So I'm not really doing the work. I'm just reviewing the work and explaining it to other team members. So that's what I do. I work as a project manager, and that person hired me for $800 something, and all I need to do is to just log in for half a day. So $800 for half a day's work, it's not bad for someone who, I started earning money and I was only making 6,000 pesos a month. $800 for half a day is a big jump for someone who only made 6,000 pesos a month. So think about it that way. I asked my employer before he hired me, before he gave me the contract, why did you pick me over the other job applicants? And what he told me shocked me. He said that out of all the applicants that I've spoken to, well, he talked to like 20 job applicants for project manager, I'm the only person who took notes. And I sent him the notes that I took just to make sure that I understood the situation. I sent him the notes, and I got hired. 19 other people, at least 19 other people that he spoke to, and I'm the only one who got hired. So think about it that way. I got the job, project manager. It's a very chill job. It's a very tough job because you have to do a lot of reading and you have to do a lot of writing. But I got hired because I took notes and I organized my notes. I sent it to the client, and boom, $860 a month. And I'm really proud of that because, who would have thought? I got the job and 19 other people didn't, simply because I took notes. So what did I learn from this situation? If I could teach you one skill, just one skill, take notes all the time, because you don't want to forget what your boss said, because maybe that thing that your boss said will give you a pay increase. Here are some ideas on what to write down. What skills did you learn? So I have this question for a lot of my students. Make a list of all your past jobs. What skills did you learn in that job? What did you learn? Did your boss teach you how to use Microsoft Word? Did your boss teach you how to use Adobe Photoshop? That previous job teach you how to edit videos? And so on and so forth. Write down all of the skills that you learned, and write down all of the lessons that you learned related to that skills. All of the lessons that you learned related to that skill. and keep expanding. The more sentences you write down, the better you're able to communicate. And a lot of people, they say that, oh, I'm good at understanding, I'm good at watching movies, but I can't communicate once I open my mouth. That's because they don't have a lot of sentences. They don't have experience expressing themselves. They don't have experience writing sentences. They don't have experience speaking. So you don't have experience speaking, you don't have experience writing sentences, anong lalabas sa'yo, right? Like, what kind of words will come out of your mouth if you have zero practice communicating? That's the main point. If you're already good at speaking English and if you want to become an expert, you want to become the best, one of the things you can do is write things down. Write about yourself. Write what skills did you learn? What mistake do you need to avoid? This happens all the time. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. What mistake do we need to avoid? The solution doesn't come to you instantly. We're not all geniuses and experts. The best thing that you can do is to just write the mistake so you can read it again and think about it again, and maybe you'll have a solution tomorrow. Maybe you'll have a solution next week. Maybe you'll have a solution next month. But if you don't write your mistake, you're going to forget about it. And when you forget about it, what's going to happen? It's gone. You lost your opportunity to improve on the mistake. But sometimes you learn from your mistakes by luck, you suddenly remember. But if you forgot about it, there's no way that you're going to improve it. So the best thing that you can do is to write your mistakes. I made a list of all of my mistakes and I think about it constantly. And every now and then, I'm doing something and my brain tells me that, hey, remember that mistake that you wrote down? I have a solution now. Go to your notebook, write it down, and I write down the mistake. And if you go to my website, callcentertrainingtips.com, I also have a personal website, minimalchanges.com. I have thousands of articles and blog posts, and those are solutions of different mistakes. All I had to do is to write the mistake down, and then one day my brain will tell me, hey Kevin, remember that mistake that you wrote down? I already have a solution. What mistakes do you need to avoid? What technique did you discover? This is kind of like something in between. So when you encounter a mistake, when you encounter a problem, sometimes there's a technique on how to deal with it. Sometimes there's a solution that's incredibly easy. If you're always late, maybe you should go to sleep earlier. But what if you have a problem going to sleep earlier? Well, I read somewhere that you need to keep your body cool. So sometimes it helps. Take a shower before going to bed. Sometimes it helps. Don't drink coffee, later in the day. You're only allowed to drink coffee at the start of the day. Sometimes you figure out that, hey, you can take this supplement called melatonin. You take that and you'll have slightly better sleep than you do without it. And maybe you figure out that, hey, if I exercise for 5 minutes a day, I have better sleep. What technique did you discover? And I made it a point to write everything down on my notebook. So what technique, what mistake, and what skills? Take notes. Next, the final thing I want to talk about is consistent improvement. Consistent improvement. Let's just say that you do your best to write every day. You fail. You're such a loser, you fail to write every day. But maybe you're the kind of loser that will still try, and maybe you can write one thing, one idea every month. There are 12 months in a year. Maybe you can improve yourself by 12% per year. Just 1% better every month because you have one idea. That one idea made your life better. 12% every year. That's not so bad. After 10 years, you'll be a little bit better. Maybe you'll double your performance. You'll be twice as smart after 10 years. At least, give it a try. One page of notes, ideas on how to improve your life, how to improve your career, how to improve your performance at work 12 times a year. What if you're so overwhelmed with your schedule, you don't have time to write? Maybe you can write once a week. Maybe you can only write on your rest day once a week. Well, if you do that, there are 52 weeks in a year. Haha, this is not a month. There are 52 weeks in a year. 52% a year, that's not so bad. We get better. Write something once a week, 52 weeks in a year. Now, if you were to write both weekends, Saturday, Sunday, then maybe you have 100 ideas on how to improve your life. 100 ideas on how to improve your life at the end of the year. That's not so bad. Let's say, what if you decided to start considering what I'm telling you? You decided to just follow Kevin, even if you don't fully trust me. I'm just going to do my best, write every day. You write every day, you end up with 300 ideas. What happens? How much better if you have 300 ideas on how to make your life better at the end of the year? and you do some of those ideas, and your life actually got better. Like I said earlier, I started my career, I was giving out flyers at the mall. I'm only making 6,000 pesos a month. And now I work from home. I enjoy the tools that I use. I can work almost any time that I want. And if I want to travel, I can travel. If I want to play with some gadgets, I can play with some gadgets. If I want to hang out with my dogs, I can hang out with my dogs. I can exercise anytime I want. And it's all because I started filling my notebook with notes. And, my last job, I just sent the client my notes and I got tired. It's $800 a month for a few hours a day. It's not even a whole day. I have a couple of other jobs. That's one of my favorite clients. All I need to do for the job is to just take notes. How much will your life change if you start earning $800 for just a couple of hours a day? All you have to do is to just take notes every day, and that's your job. How much will your life change for a part-time job that pays you $800? It sounds like too good to be true. Even the old me wouldn't believe what's going on. I had no idea how much my life will change after I start taking some notes. I'm not trying to sell you a program. I'm not trying to sell you a pyramid scheme, or I'm not trying to sell you a business or a job or whatever. Buy a notebook, buy a nice pen, start taking notes. It's going to change your life. If you want more ideas like these, you can get free lessons at callcentertrainingtips.com. Thank you so much for watching my video until the end. If you found this video valuable, hit the thumbs up. If you have questions, leave a comment. If you like more videos like these, let me know. And I'll be right here. I'll do my best to assist you. Thanks again. Bye-bye. Write some notes.